So is America on a slippery slope when it accuses India of buying oil from Russia and hurting the interests of the world? Well, absolutely not. And it's not us saying it, but it's the figures, and the figures don't lie. In fact, let's take a quick check of who are the largest purchasers of Russian oil. It is actually China at 47%. India takes it at 38%. Not just this, the largest purchaser of Russian gas is not India, but it's the European Union. So it is these countries which are now pointing a finger at India for buying Russian oil and emboldening the war between Russia and Ukraine. That was a big allegation which came in from the American President Donald Trump. But India has consistently thrown these entire facts and figures on the face of the global, especially Western players. First of all, unlike Iran and Venezuela, Russian oil is not sanctioned. In fact, China buys sanctioned Iran and Venezuelan oil. Now, who is actually financing or funding these wars? It's clearly not India, it's other countries like China, the countries from the European Union as well, and to a very great extent America as well, which buys, say, for example, uranium, which was something which was conceded by the American president himself when he was asked this question specifically. He wasn't even aware of the fact that America was buying uranium, palladium from Russia. He said, I'm going to look into it. But apart from that, what happens if India didn't buy oil from Russia? In fact, we've gone through all those figures and statements of former American ambassadors to India, where all of them have said that they actually welcome the fact that India is buying Russian oil. And that is why it will have a stabilizing effect as far as the global oil prices are concerned. One of the largest suppliers and producers of oil in the world is indeed Russia. Other countries are minuscule in comparison to Russia, and in case we wouldn't buy oil from Russia or other countries wouldn't, it would start having an impact on the global oil prices. So we are not financing any war, we are actually ensuring a stabilization as far as the global oil, crude oil prices are concerned. It's not India which is guilty of purchasing oil of Russia and financing war, it is the other countries like China, Venezuela, who is buying oil from Venezuela, and Iran as well. Many countries in the European Union who are actually taking and purchasing sanctioned oil. In that sense, India is much ahead. We are following all the global rules. There's a sanction on oil from Iran and Venezuela. We've not even touched them. That is because we believe in following the international global rules and the system. And that is why it's not that a finger should be pointed at us. A finger really should be pointed at these Western players. And on an earlier occasion, in fact, the present External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had at a summit in Munich pointed out that the hypocrisy of the Western players. He had said that in the dead of the night, they go and purchase oil, gas from Russia, and they expect India not to do so. If this is not a double standard, then what is? So when all this brouhaha is happening over purchasing Russian oil, lot of pressure coming in from America over India not to go on that route, India stands firm. What is most important as far as our national interest is concerned, and it's a commitment which we have made to the world as well. There is a cap, there is a 60 to 40% cap on oil to be purchased from Russia. The 40% cap comes into effect in September. We are going to follow those rules as well. If we stop buying crude oil, for example, from Russia, what happens to the oil is the price rise happens globally. And this is going to impact not just us, but on many other countries. So we are actually doing a good deed to the world by ensuring that the crude oil prices are controlled. So therefore, all these charges coming in from the American president are absolutely baseless, and that is one reason why the Indian government has decided that we'll do what is best for our consumers, we'll do what is best for the national interest, but more importantly, whatever are the global rules about buying non-sanctioned oil as Russia is, we are following that system as well.